head to Orlando this week to face UCF, which is number 3 in Conference USA rushing defense, number 1 scoring defense, number 1 passing defense, number 1 total defense. Is there anything these guys don't do well on defense?
From what I've seen on film, they seem to do a pretty good job. Very well-rounded defense. A lot of veteran guys, well coached, so they've been in the scheme for a while. I know there might be a different guy in there. I think he's from Houston, but pretty much the same deal as we did last year. We might be able to expect a little 3 down instead of all 4. So it'll be tough. We've always had a good game against them. They always bring some good pressure and make it difficult to find running lanes.
George O'Leary has traditionally had pretty good defenses throughout his career. Are there characteristics of an O'Leary coach defense that you can look at and sort of assume that he's involved? Is there a traditional style that he likes to run out there?
It seems like they're a very physical team. We're going to be, put to the test. And our defense is very physical when we go team, but it's nothing like in the game. These guys, fly around with the ball, gang tackle. So, it's a good game to play in, especially when you're a running back, because if they're going to rush hard, there's going to be more seams rather than if they're just reading, stepping and read blocking. So it'll be interesting.
Last year you went 16 for 82 with a couple of touchdowns, but J.J. McDermott threw 358 yards and a couple of scores. Is Garrett Gilbert going to have to put up similar numbers this week for you guys to come back with a win?
I think Garrett's going to have a good opportunity to throw good numbers this week, just from watching the film. We fit well with what they do, our offense does, so Garrett's going to have some opportunities to make some big plays, which is he's been doing all year. So it's not on him at all. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities on the run. Conference championship game, I think we were able to rush on them 2 years ago, and then last year we're still picking up around 85, 90 yards. I think a pair of TDs. So I think we're just going to keep doing what we're doing and keep rolling.
A couple weeks ago when you guys beat up Houston, Gilbert hit Keenan Holman on a long touchdown pass, and he was saying that he thought just by having that one long pass on film, it would make defenses back off a little bit to respect the deep ball. Did you see that against Memphis? Was the defense dropping back from the line a little bit more than they had been in other games this year?
Well, I think so. First half, I think we had over 100 yards rushing, so I think they were playing the pass more. In the second half, I think they adjusted a little bit to the run, but still, then we gashed them in the pass. So it's tough when you have to cover deep and you also have to cover real short with the running game. So it's nice when the passing game is working because the running game works more efficiently, and that's the way our offense is supposed to run.
He hit another one this past week against Memphis on the rollout where he hit Derek Thompson in the end zone. Are you going to start to see even larger running lanes or a little more room at the line of scrimmage now because of that?
Running lanes, besides that, when he's making deep plays like that, moving the ball down the field, not just moving the chains every 10 yards, but, picking up 30, 40-yard gains or throwing a 50-yard touchdown, really keeps our offense fresh. It keeps the energy up because we're not picking up 2 yards, 3 yards, and having to go for a third down and missing it. So when we're constantly moving deep down the field, we can jog on up 30 yards to our next, spot. It's pretty nice.
Garrett had a couple of rushing touchdowns this past week, but over the last couple of weeks, he's been running the ball a little more. Coach Jones talked about how he's ad-libbing a little bit. He seems to be more comfortable tucking the ball and taking off. When he's able to do that, how does it affect what you're able to do in terms of the amount of concentration you're getting from defenses?
Well, it's kind of like I would use Texas A&M quarterback as a good example. When we versed him, he had everything covered. He would find a hole in our defense and run. So Garrett's doing a good job right now of exploiting defenses when they're dropping. They see that I'm staying in to block, and they see that defenses they see that all the receivers are going deep, so they're covering them, and then he's got 20, 30 yards to run the ball, and he's got good speed, he's a good athlete. So that's what good athletes are supposed to do, is make plays and take chances. When
you beat UCF last year, you had 11 offensive drives, only 2 of which went as long as 3 minutes. Was there something that you and the coaches saw in their defense that lends itself to quick strikes, or was that just sort of a coincidence?
I think last year was just kind of a coincidence. We don't have any, series that are designed to just go 3 minutes that quick. But Last year was a good opportunity for us to, be a good. Was a good opportunity for us to beat a good team, and we have another great opportunity this year at their house.
Last year they ran 80 plays of offense to 47 for you guys. Do you have to flip those numbers, or at least even them up this year to get another win?
I don't think we need to flip them as long as the scoreboard's in our favor. We've had some games where I think some of the earlier games, I think even Baylor, we had close to 100 plays, and we were way behind. It doesn't, the number of plays doesn't dictate the score, but I think we'll run as many plays as we need to get up by a lot. Hopefully, hang 50 again.
You guys are a game out of the lead in the Western Division of the conference. They're on top of the Eastern Division. How do you guys look at this game in terms of importance with 4 games to go?
Well, right now we're in a must-win situation. We kind of lost some games up front. That hurt us, but then we lost another one mid-season that really hurt us because we got to win out conference. But nobody remembers what you do in October. They remember what you do in November, like I said. So right now we're just focusing on beating UCF. They're a tough opponent on the road and a tough stadium to play in. It's a fun stadium to play in, and we have to win out. So this is the next game in line.